midterm elections. After all, the midterm's just 30 days away. Joining us via Skype from Washington, D.C., Ari RabinHavt, host of The Agenda, former advisor to Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, and from our South Florida Newsmax newsroom, Javier Manjarres, the managing editor of the Shark Tank political blog. Gentlemen, to you both, thank you for taking time and welcome back to America's Forum. Ari, let me start with you. Reince Priebus, the Republican National Committee chairman, says he's confident the GOP will win the Senate. He thinks it could be a turnover as many as 8 seats. Is he on to something there, Ari?
I mean, is he on to something? I mean, look at where Republicans have to pick up to win back the Senate. They need to win 6 seats. Of the 8 seats kind of up for grabs right now, 6 are in red territory, 3 are already conceded. So you have South Dakota, Montana, and West Virginia kind of already conceded into the Republican column. All Republicans need to do is win Alaska, Louisiana, and Arkansas, and that's playing on home turf. So is it a tough row for Democrats? Yeah, but I actually don't think Reince Priebus will succeed. I think you're going to look at a 50-50 Senate with Joe Biden as the tie-breaking vote.
Wow, 50-50 Senate. Okay, well, Javier, what has happened to the predicted GOP sweep?
Well, I said it last week. I don't think it's going to be a clean sweep at all. I think it's going to be close to a 50-50 like what Ari just said, and Biden being the tiebreaker. Look, it was kind of like, by thinking they're going to take 8 seats is pretty optimistic, but I think it's real practical that they're going to come down to a 50-50 split.
But again, you think about where Mr. Obama is in his presidency, Javier. It's called the 6-year itch. And I know because I finished second in 2006 due to the 6-year itch of 6 years of George W. Bush in office. There is a tendency, regardless of parties, to treat these midterm races as votes of non-confidence in the executive. So that is not going to happen, Javier, when it comes to the Senate?
Well, look, I think it's fair to compare 2006 to 2014 or 2014 to 2006 because you have 2 very unpopular presidents. And again, this is all going to boil down to President Obama. And again, it is a midterm. Republicans are going to come out and forced to vote more so than Democrats. And it remains to be seen how this actually unfolds. But again, you know, like the Democrats in 2006, Republicans have the momentum in 2014. I expect them to pick up significant votes, but again, in seats, but nothing like a clean sweep like they expected in the Senate or even in the House.
Slightly there. I think 2014 and 2006 are completely different elections. If you look at 2006, and I'm talking in terms of the Senate specifically, Democrats had to pick up 6 seats like Republicans, but 4 of the 6 seats Democrats had to pick up were in deep red territories. Only 2, Pennsylvania and Rhode Island, were in blue states. And this year, Republicans just need to work on home territory. The other big difference is, yes, this election is about Obama, but there's something even more to it that I don't think it has. 2006 was an election primarily about George Bush and Iraq. 2010 was about Barack Obama and Obamacare. 2002 was about the war on terrorism. 1998 was about impeachment. 1994 was about Hillary Care and the contract with America. This year, there's kind of no overall thematic approach. It's the Seinfeld election. It's really an election about nothing.
Well, this election is about President Barack Obama's failed presidency. It's bottom line. Everything including foreign policy and Obamacare.
Well, in light of that, and I'll let you get 20-second take from you both on this, the curious case of Kansas, where the independent in the race, Greg Orman, now seems to be fairly well ahead of incumbent Pat Roberts. That doesn't seem to be a Republican-Democrat thing per se. After all, Orman has belonged to both parties and is now an independent. Very quickly to you both, a take on Kansas. Ari, you first.
Look, I think Kansas is unique. You had a state where Sam Brownback basically was running a libertarian paradise and completely screwed up the state's economy, caused the downgrades in its credit rating, and you have an anti-incumbent sentiment really setting in there, and I think Greg Orman's taking advantage of that.
Ari, let me go to Javier. 20 seconds. Do you expect Greg Orman to caucus with the Democrats, or what's going to happen?
I would suspect the Republicans are embracing him now, if not in the next week or so. And I think he will. I think there's a better chance he'll caucus with the Republicans than Democrats. But then again, I've seen stranger things.
And again, what we're hearing is he's going to caucus with whoever ends up in power. So it'll be interesting to see. Gentlemen, we're going to step aside for a minute, but we're going to come back and talk more about the midterms, what's ahead, and of course, what's ahead in 2016. Stay tuned.